IGCES Mathematics chapter 11. So here we started the second phase of mathematics. We finished the first phase, chapter 1 to 10. Okay, we finished the first phase, chapter 1 to 10. Chapter 10 is set. Chapter 10 is set, and chapter 9 is time. Time and measure, compound measure. That's chapter 9. Okay, so today, chapter 11, we're beginning a new journey. We finished the first corporate set of topics of mathematics. So now we're looking at the second corporate topic for IGCSE. So we're going to run through chapter 11 to chapter, in this term, we're going to run through chapter 11 to chapter 22. Okay, as fast as possible. Let's go through that, and then we move from chapter 22 to chapter 36 in the next phase. And the whole chapters are 36. Okay, so we see how we can move as fast as we can. Okay, without much ado, let's begin. Now we started with the algebra. Algebra is the mathematics of numbers and letters. Okay, you're mixing numbers and letters together. Algebra is mathematics of what? Numbers and letters. Mathematics of what? Numbers and letters. So when we take numbers and letters, we write them together, we mix them, then we are dealing with algebra. For example, if I write 2a plus 5. If we write 2a plus 5, this is an algebra. You write it. You see, this is a variable. This a is a variable. It's called variable in mathematics. And this 2 is the coefficient of this variable, the coefficient. And then this is a constant. So when we have this kind of linear function, then we call it algebra. We have this kind of linear function, it's called algebra. There are so many things we can do with algebra. We can expand, we can simplify, we can factorize, we can add, we can multiply, we can divide, algebraic expressions, and so on and so forth. So we can write so many expressions and do so many things with them. Now we start with the first one, which is to expand a bracket. We give you a bracket, we want to expand. For example, we write x. Okay, let's take a look at this. We write x plus 4 in a bracket, and we put 3 outside. We open x plus 4 in a bracket, and we put 3 outside. So we're going to use 3 to multiply. We want to expand. We say expand this bracket, expand this function. So what we do, we use the 3 outside to multiply everything inside. So now we have 3 times x, we're going to get what? 3x. We get 3x. 3 times x, we get 3x. And then this 3 multiply, like the first one is 3 multiplied by this one, we get 3x. The second one is this 3, because it's outside, multiply by this 4, and then we get 12. 3 times 12, 3 times 4, we get 12. That's how we got this one. The job is done. It's as easy as that. The job is done. Now let's move on to the next one. The second part, the big part of the question, is this one. We have 5x outside. We're going to multiply 2y plus 3 inside the bracket. So we have 2y plus 3 inside the bracket. So if you take 5x, you say 5x multiplied by 2y. 5 times 2 is going to give you the 10. The x times y is going to give you xy. The x times y is going to give you xy. You have 5, you have 2. 5 times 2 gives you the 10. X times y gives you the 10xy. So that's how we got this 10xy. And you say 5x here, outside multiply by 3. 5x multiply by 3. 5 times 3 you get 50. Then times x you get 15x. That's how we got this second one. That the job is done. So that's how to expand bracket. Now in expansion, we're only going to take a look at 2 more when we're done with this. We take a look at 2 more examples, and then we're done with this. Now let's take a look at this. We'll take a look at the one that has fraction. Let's take a look at the one that has fraction, right? Okay, now we say minus 2x squared is outside. You can see this one. You can see this function. Minus 2x squared multiplied by 1x. Then minus 2x squared multiplied by 3y. Minus 2x squared multiplied by minus 1 over x. So we can simplify each one by doing it ourselves. By saying 2x squared minus 2x squared minus 2x squared multiplied by what? Multiplied by 1x, meaning multiplied by x. Even if you don't write 1, it's the same thing, right? Remember that. Multiplied by 1x. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay? 2 times 1, this 2 times 1 is 2. So I'm going to have minus 2. So when we have minus 2, it's because we multiply minus 2 times 1, we got minus 2. So we got minus 2. X squared times x. You know, this one is power 1, even if we don't write it. So in indices, x raised to the power 2 times x raised to the power 1, you're going to get x 2 plus 1, which is x raised to the power 3. So here, we're going to get minus 2 x raised to the power of 3. That's how we got it here. You can see it here. That's how we got minus 2 x raised to the power of 3. The next one is to take the one outside the bracket to multiply this 3y plus 3y. So minus 2x squared, this one we don't need to do anything, we just multiply normally. Minus 2 times 3, we're going to get minus 6. You ask yourself, why do we get minus? How did you get minus here? How did you get minus here? It's because negative 2x squared multiplied by positive 3 is going to be negative 6. Okay? Then x squared times y, you get x squared y. So that's how we got this one. That's how we got this one. The next one is to take this one, is to take negative 2. The last part of last component of it is to say minus 2x squared minus 2x squared multiplied by 1 all over s. Okay, multiplied by negative 1 all over x. You know, remember, don't mix the signs. When you mix the sign, you miss everything. Multiply by negative 1 all over x. So what we're going to get? We're going to get minus times minus is going to be plus. That's how we got plus here. Okay, it's going to be plus. So what at the end of the day, we have positive. This will be equal to 2x squared over x. 2x squared over x. This one, you know, 2x squared means x times x. So over x, s we divide by x, right? S we cancel one s. All we have left is 2x. All that is left is 2x. All that is left is what? 2x. So we have plus 2x. Remember, it's positive 2. So all that is left is there, plus 2x. So we bring the plus 2x to this place. We bring the plus 2x to this place and we write it down. Okay? We write it down. Right? We bring the plus 2x to this place and we write it down. That's what we have here. So we'll move on to the next one. This is the last example we look here. Okay? I think these examples are enough for this one. And we'll move on. Now we pause. You can pause the video and try to solve all of this one. For example, this one is easy. A to the power of 3 multiplied by a to the power of 3. You get a to the power of 6. The first phase, you get a to the power of 6. So here, I'm going to get a to the power of 6 plus a to the power of 3 times a to the power of 2. I'll get a to the power of 5b. A to the power of 5b. Finish. I've expanded this. So it's easy. So you've done this one. So we just expanded this example. So pause it and solve all of this and move on. Okay. Now let's go to the next section, which is expanding a pair of bracket. The next one is expanding a pair of bracket. Okay. Before we go that way, there are some questions here that looks a bit serious, right? So how about we look at this type of question? How about we look at one of this type of question? For example, let's say we want to look at this f. We want to look at this f. What it means is that we say x over 7. So let's solve it here. X over 7. X divided by 7. Multiplied by 14x. Multiplied by 14x. Minus 21y. Minus 21y. Okay. You close this bracket. We move on to the next one. It says minus x over 2 minus x over 2 into 4x minus 6y. Minus 6y. So it's not a big deal. They say expand this. It's not a big deal. It's something you know how to do. So the first thing in mathematics is to believe that you know it. The first is to have the faith that you know what it is and you know exactly what it is, just to follow the principles. Follow the steps, step-by-step procedure, and you get the problem solved. Is that okay? Now, here, this multiplied by this, we're going to have 7 divided. So if you have, we can do it segment by segment. X over 7 times 14x. Times 14x. So what we have is that 7 will divide 14, right? 7 will go into 14. 7 into 7, 1. 7 into 42, right? You get 2. So 2x here becomes 2x times x. It becomes 2x squared. So here we're going to have 2x squared. So we write it down. We have 2x squared. If we multiply this fraction outside, this right fraction outside with this first term inside the bracket, we're going to have 2x squared. Why do we have x squared? Because x times x. This x here, multiplied by this x, you get x squared, and this 2. Okay, so now let's quickly move. Let's quickly move to the next one, this one. So you're going to do the same. We're going to say minus, you know, like you can put small bracket in between each of this one. You can put small bracket in between each of this one. Minus x over 7 times 21y times 21y. Remember the minus, okay? This minus, I put it outside, like I put it outside between this and this, minus 21y. Now let's simplify this one quickly. 7 going to 7, 1. 7 going to 21, 3. So we have 3y. So what we have here, we have minus 3xy. Because this 3 and x and y. So you write 3, s come before y. I just write them in chronological order. 3xy. So that's what we get from this second place. Then we are done with this first bracket. We're done with using what is outside this bracket to multiply what is inside the bracket. We're done with the first segment. Now we move on to the second segment. Now to do the second segment, this is what we do. This here is the deal. Okay, so we have minus x over 2. Remember, this minus is going to talk to both of the bracket. Minus x over 2 times 4x times 4x. Okay, times 4x. So what we do here, these two can divide this 4. So 2 go here, we get 2x. So I have 2x times x, I get 2x squared. So I have here minus 2x squared. I have here minus 2x squared. Right? So we have here minus 2x squared. Now we go to the last but not the least part of it, segment of it. You don't forget this minus. You're going to say minus x over 2 times minus 6y times minus 6y. Okay? You're going to do this one. And minus times minus will become plus. Because when you multiply negative by negative, it will become what? Plus. Each of these small segments, you can put bracket. Each of these small segments, you can put what? Bracket. You can put bracket in each of this segment. You can put bracket in each of this segment. So for this one, minus times minus will become plus. So whatever we're going to get, here is going to be positive. Then 2 go here, 1. 2 go into this place, we get 3y. We get 3y. So 3y times minus x, we get minus, times plus. You know, minus times minus is already plus. Here is minus, here is minus. So we already got plus. 3y times x, we get 3xy. We get 3xy. Now here's the deal. Here's the deal. After you finish this, you collect like terms. We're going to collect, we say collect like terms. Now let's say collect like terms. Collect like terms. What do we mean by collect like terms? The one that have the same power and same variables, we collect them together, we solve them together. The ones with different variables, we also group them according to their similarity. We group variables according to their similarity. That's what we mean by collect like terms. That's what we mean by collect like terms. Now let's take a look at that. We have 2x squared minus 2x squared. So I'm going to write down here. Okay, even though that will result to 0. 2x squared minus 2x squared. You know, they're similar. So you write that one first, the one with x. Okay, you write the one with x first. You write the one with x quickly, and then you move on to the next one. You write the one with x first. You write the one with x, 2x squared, not 2xy. So we write 2x squared quickly. This one. This is what I wrote. This and this. I bring them together. I put them. They are not cross equal to. The sign is not going to change. Don't say, oh, why this one not change to minus? It's not going to change. Why did it not change to plus? It's not changing to plus because there's no equal to. You know, when something will only change to plus, positive from negative, if you're crossing the equality side to the other side. There's no equality side, just one straight expression. So you move on to the next one, you say minus 3x squared plus 1. So I think at the end of the day, we are getting 0, right? We are getting 0. You know why we are getting 0? You say plus 3xy, this one, and minus 3. You can write this one first. You can say minus 3xy plus 3xy. Anyone you wrote first. Okay? Minus 3xy. At the end of the day, you're going to get 0. You know why? Because each of them can be this minus this is 0. And plus this, 0 minus this, plus this minus this is 0. So 0 minus 0 equal to 0. So when you simplify this expression, you will land to 0. Your answer will be 0 for this one, if you simplify this one. Is that okay? So we move on. You pause the video and try to solve each and every one of this one, and you will get an expression. Now we move to the second segment, which is expanding a pair of bracket. If you have it like two bracket, x x plus 3 in one bracket and x plus 5 in another bracket. There are many ways of doing it. You can do it using a box. Okay. Now let's follow the box format. What do we do by following this box format? You write the x plus 3 on the horizontal top. You draw a 4 box because there are 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. Okay. There are 4. 1, 2. Okay. Then 3, 4. There are 4. So I draw a 4 box. This first 2 I put on top, and this second one I put on the vertical side. Okay. So now I multiply. I multiply the vertical position with the horizontal position. So we're going to multiply here times here. We multiply the vertical position times the horizontal position, which means x multiplied by x, we get x squared. That's how we got this one. We get x squared. For this position, we're going to multiply this x times this vertical position 3. So x times 3, this one we're going to, let's change the coloration for this. We're going to say this x outside here multiply by this positive 3, we get 3x. That's how we got this one. Now let's see this one. How do we get this one? We're going to say this x multiplied by what? Multiplied by this 5. That's how we got this 5x. Okay? Now for this last one, how do we get this last one? You're going to say this 5 multiplied by this 3 multiplied by this 3. 5 times 3 you get 50. Positive 5 times positive 3 you get 50. Now you add. You add what is inside the bracket. x squared plus 3x plus 5x plus 15. x squared plus 3x. 3x plus 5x, you get 8x plus 15. So if you write everything out, like you add everything, at the end of the day, 3x plus 5x, you get 8x and then plus 15. Then you can no longer add, because this one has power 2, this one has only power 1, this one does not even have a variable. So you can no longer add this one. So this becomes your final expansion, or final expansion of this function. Is that okay? So this is how we expand this one. This is one way of doing it. Okay? Now let's quickly run through this the same way. Then we do in the normal way. I'll do one normal way. Okay? Now let's take a look at this. I write on this one. I put this one on the vertical, x plus 1, this bracket. We take this bracket, we put here, x plus 1 here. And then we take this bracket, this other bracket, we put on the vertical. This other bracket, x plus 2, we bring it here, we put here. So we make our 4 box. Now you say, this x times s, we get x squared. This x times this one is always, if you're looking what is here, you read the horizontal times the vertical. So x times 1 is x. That's how we got this one. Now we come here, it's going to be 2 times x, because that's what make up this place. This 2 times this x, we get 2x. And then this 2 multiplied by this one, we get 2. 2 times 1 is 2. That's how we got this. Then you add, you say x squared, you write plus x plus 2x plus 2. You go like this, and then you go like this. Is that okay? So you add all of them. S squared plus s plus 2s plus 2. Now s plus 2s is 3x. It's like 1 apple plus 2 apples is 3 apples. 1 apple plus 2 apples equals to 3 apples. So x plus 2x is 3x. That's how we got this 3x. Is that okay? So you now eventually get x squared plus 3x plus 2. And then that's how we get this. Now if we want to expand without this using the box, now let's quickly do only one for one. Let's do for the first one, which is x plus 3 in one bracket, x plus 3 in one bracket, and x plus 5 in the other bracket. So let's just do this one, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to the next segment of algebra. X plus 3, x plus 1. If you don't want to use the box that we just described, you want to do it in another way, you can do this way. Now let's select another something that is going to be glaring. Okay, now let's take this one. No, we've used that a lot exhaustively. Now let's take something a bit different. Now here, I'm going to say, take this one, this first term, I'll use it to multiply x. I use it to multiply the first bracket of this one. The first term in this bracket multiplied by the first term in this bracket. And then I'll still use this one again. The first term in this bracket to multiply the second term in this bracket. Meaning, you take this to multiply both of the things inside this bracket. After you've done that, then we switch. We take the next term. Probably we take this one, which is this one, 3. You use it to multiply this one, and you use the same 3 to multiply this one, 5. Okay? So now let's do that. We say x times x, we get x squared. X times x, we get x squared. We say x times s, we get x squared. This one, this x times this x. Remember the first one. X times s, we get s squared. And then after you do that, you take the same x, you multiply with what? 5. So you say x times 5, what do we get? We get 5x. X multiplied by 5, you get 5x. So we write it down. Then we are done with using this term to multiply these two terms in this bracket. Now we're going to take this one. We take 3 multiplied by x, 3 multiplied by this x is 3x, so we write it down. 3 multiplied by x, we get 3x, we write it down. And then we move to the last one. We say this 3 multiplied by 5. 3 multiplied by 5, we get 15, we write it down. 3 multiplied by 5, we get 15, we write it down. Now we collect like terms. The only like terms for us to collect in this multiplication or expansion, whatever you want to call it, is this one, because they both have x. Okay, both variable has numbers. So we add this and this together. That's the only thing left for us to do. Okay, this thing Yungo thing, internet is discounted. Okay, let's take a look at what we have. So we say here is 15. Remember, 3 times 5 is 15, and then we say the only thing to do. We said the only thing to do is to add this one. Okay, let's say is to add this 5x multiplied by 3 5x plus 3x. That's the only thing to add, right? 5x plus 3x. That's the only thing to add, right? Now, when we do that, we have what? Our final answer to be x squared. This first term, x squared. If you add this and this, you get 8x. So we write 8x, x squared plus 8x plus 15. X squared plus 8x plus 15. Is that okay? So you get your final expansion. So which is same with what we did before, which is same with x squared plus 8x plus 15. Okay, if you don't want to use the box to expand, you want to expand like this manually. Is that okay? Now, you pause at this junction, you pause the video. We have a lot of problems for you to expand. So pause it and solve. The more you solve, the better you become. The more you expand, the better you become. You don't do, you don't get. You don't do, you don't become better. So to get better is to stop here, solve all of these questions. All of these questions you have to solve. Is that okay? Each question, we have 24 questions here. You have to solve all 24 questions. Now we move on to the next one, which is simple factorization. So we're going to start factorizing algebraic expression. Okay, we finished with expanding algebraic expression. Now we want to factorize algebraic expression. Now the first one is pretty easy. We're going to look for the LCM. To do factorization is to know the LCM of the two terms. What do we mean by LCM? The highest common factor. Okay, the highest common factor between 10x and 50. What's the highest number that can divide 10 and 50? 5, right? So you divide 10 by, you write that, you take the number out. The highest number that can divide 10 and 50 is 5. It's called the ACF, not LCM. The highest common factor is HCF, sorry, okay? It's the HCF. You find the HCF of the two terms. The highest common factor is called HCF. So how to find HCF in case you don't know? In case you don't know, let me quickly show you as a revision for you. As a revision for you, if you want to find the HCF, you write 10x out, find the factors of 10x. You write 10x out, you find the factors of 10x. What are the factors of 10x? That's 2 times 5, am I right? Times x. 2 times 5 times x. In case you don't know. But I believe at this level you should know how to do this. Okay? Times x. 2 times 5 times x. Now we move on to the next one. 15. What are the factors of 15? 15, the factors are 3 times 5. 3 times 5. Now for HCF, we have to find numbers that are exactly the same. Exactly the same. We have to find numbers that are exactly the same. Now in this regard, we're going to see only 5 is found in both scenarios. Only 5 is found in both terms. Only 5 is common to both terms. You're going to bring what is common between the two. So what is common is the HCF. So you bring out the HCF. Okay, this is just a revision for your HCF. Okay, you bring out the HCF as a factor. You bring out the HCF as a factor. 5 is the HCF. Okay, so we bring out the HCF. We bring out 5 as a factor. That's how we got this 5. Now, when you do that, you open a bracket after you bring out the ACF. When you bring the bracket, you say 10x divided by 5. What remains? 2x. Now you do division. You say 10x divided by the 5, the ACF. What remains is 2x. Now, it's very easy. You can come here. You see, what remains here, is it not this 2 and this one? What is remaining? Is it not this? This 2 and this x, which is 2x? That's what is remaining. So you write it down. You open a bracket, you write 2x out. You write the 2x out because that's what is remaining if you take out the 5. The ACF, what is common between them. If you take this one out for both of them, what is remaining is what? What is remaining is just the 2x. What is remaining is just the 2x. We communicating what is remaining is just the 2x. Right? What is remaining is just this 2x. So you write the 2x. We write it out. Then we come to this one plus. We write this plus. 50 divided by 5, the ACF. 50 divided by 5 is 3. Okay? If you don't want to think like that, if you've done it this way, what is remaining here? Is it only 3? Then you come and write the 3 here. You've done with the factorization. You've done with the factorization. So this is a simple factorization technique. Okay, now let's take a look at the next one. Now we have 8p minus 6q plus 10r. We find the ACF of what is common between these numbers. The highest number common to both of them is 2 only. You know why? Because 3 can go into 6, but 3 cannot go into 8 and 10. 5 can go into 10, 5 cannot go into 6 and 8 without a remainder. The only number that can go into these 3 numbers is only 2. So you write, and here is P, here is Q, here is R, they are not same. So you don't bother about that one. You write the 2 out. Now you say 8P divided by 2, you get 4P. You write the 4P here. 6, then you put your minus, this negative. 6Q divided by 2, you always divide by the 2 that you factorize out, the number you factorize out. 6Q divided by 2, you get 3. You get 3Q. 10R divided by 2, you get 5R. You get 5R. So that's all. Once you do that, once you divide with the ACF, finish, your job is done. The job is done. Okay? Take a look at this one. There is no number common to this 2 and 3 and 5. 2, 3, 5 do not have a common factor. Therefore, the numbers is not going to be a factor. Now you check here, we have A here, we have A here, we have A here. So A is a common factor. We have B here, but there's no B in the first one. There's no B in the first one, there's no B in the last one. We have C here, we don't have C in the first and second one. So the only thing that is present in all of them is A. So you take out A. When you take out A, what remains here? 2 is still remaining, and another A is remaining. So you write 2A as what is remaining. And or you just say 2A squared divided by A, you have 2A. Now if you take out A here, what's remaining here? Only 3B. 3B. Or you say 3AB divided by A, you get 3B. You write the 3B here. Is that okay? Minus 5. Minus 5AC. Now 5AC, you put the minus down. 5AC divided by A will be gone. So all that is left is 5C. You write the 5C here. So that's how we factorize and we get this expression. Is that okay? So we're done with this. The next thing to do is for you to pause this video and go through all these questions. Here we have 24 questions as well, and for you to look more than 24 questions, to be frank. More than 24 questions, almost more than 30 questions for you to have an overview and simplify all of this. So you look at what is common. Take a look at this. 72, 36, 18. What's the common factor? The common factor is 18. Because 18 can go into 18, 18 can go into 36, 18 can go into 72. So the factor here is 18. There's M here, there's M here, there's M here. M is out as a factor. There's N here, there's N here, there's N here. So let's quickly do this last one. Let's quickly do this one before we move to the next section. Is that okay? Let's quickly do this one. Okay, if you take a look at this one, 80 is a common factor. So let's write 80 out. And M is also is common to all of them, we write M. And N is also common to all of them, we write N out. So if we do that, then we open the bracket. 72 divided by 80, I think we're going to get 4. Right? 72 divided by 80, because 80 plus 80 is 36. 36 plus 36 is 72. So you're going to get 4. So 4 will be left. Let's quickly change what we have here in writing. So you have 4, right? So here you have 4, and you took one M out, so it's still remaining one M, right? It's still remaining one M, so I write this M. I took one n out, there's no more n. So I cannot write n inside here again because there was, in the first instance, there was only one n. And you've taken it out. So you cannot write it inside again. Now we say plus, we move to the next one. Now we say 36. 36 divided by the factor, divided by 18, you get 2, right? You get 2, right? Now we say 2, you write 2 here. You took one m out, you're not going to have the m to write. You know you factorize this m out, no more m. But you took one n out, there's still one n left. So I write 2n here. We write 2n here, right? Minus the last one. You've already taken the 18 out, so there's no number. Only thing remaining is 1, because 18 times 1 is 18. But in maths, you can choose not to write 1, okay? You take one m out, there's one m still left. And you've taken one n out, there's one n still left. So if you like, you write 1 here. If you like, don't write it. It's still the same thing. So finish, our job is done. Your job is done. You are asked to factorize this. You must factorize by finding the highest common factor. Don't just say, some people might say, oh, 2 can go. They bring out 2. No, you've not used the highest common factor. Now we're done with this segment. Let's move on to, so you pause the video. Okay, so pause the video and solve all of these questions. Now let's move to substitution. Substitution is very easy in algebra. Substitution in algebra is pretty easy. What it means is that they will give you an algebraic expression. They will give you an algebraic expression, They will give you an algebraic expression, and then they will define A, B, C. They will tell you A is 3, B is 4, and C is -5. So we're going to substitute the values they gave you to this expression. Is that okay? Now let's take a look at the first one. Let's take a look at the A is 3. So 2A means 2 times 3, right? 2A means 2 times 3. So let's evaluate that. 2A. So I will do it one by one. 2A means what? 2 times 3. Because they say A is equal to 3. So we say 2 multiplied by 3. 2 multiplied by 3. That will give us 6. Okay, network. That will give us 6. So we have 6. So you see the first scenario? That's how we got 6 here. That's how we got 6 here. Now 3b, remember the value of b. B is 4. So 3b means what? We can do that here. 3b means 3 times 4. B is 4, right? B is 4. You always check. B is 4. 3 times 4, you get 12. 3 times 4, you get 12. So you write it down. 3 times 4, we get 12. So we write that 12 down. If it's plus, we write plus. If it's minus, we write minus. We check. What's the sign? It's plus. So that's how we write plus 12. The last one is minus c. Minus c. Remember, c is minus 5. Now this is going to be minus c. They gave you minus c, right? And c is minus 5. So we're going to have minus minus. You're going to have minus minus. Minus minus 5. Why? Because c itself is minus 5. And there is minus in the algebraic expression. So minus minus 5. It becomes plus. You know, minus minus becomes plus. You know, right? Minus minus becomes plus. So we're going to say plus 5. Now, 6 plus 12, we get 18. 6 plus 12, we're going to get 18. Right? 18 plus 5. 6 plus 12, we get 18. 18 plus 5, we get 23. That's how our answer is 23. So for substitution, it's pretty easy. It's just to put the number. So we're not going to write again. I'm only going to show to you. So you pay attention to it. Now we do this one. 3a means 3 times. A is 3. 3 times 3, we get 9. That's how we got 9 here. Minus 4b, 4 times 3. No, b is 4. 4 times 4, we got 16. Remember this minus, that's how we got minus 16. And c is minus 5. Minus 5 times 2, we get minus 10. Minus 5, which is c, times 2, we got negative 10. Times plus 2. Plus 2 times negative. Plus times minus is minus. So plus 2, don't be say, oh, there's plus 2 here, minus 5 times minus 5. Why did you get negative? Minus times positive is negative. It's minus. So that's how we got minus 10 here. Now you now simplify. 9 minus 16, you're going to get minus 7. Minus 7 minus 10, you get minus 17. Minus 7 minus 10, you get minus 17. That's how we got that. Okay? Now we're going to do only one more. We move to the next section. Only one more, which is D. We're going to do this D. We move to the next section. A squared. The value of A is 3. 3 squared will become 9. Meaning 3 times 3, you get 9. B is 4. 4 squared, you get 16. Because 4 times 4 is 16. The next one is c squared minus 5. Now, here's the deal. Minus square, when they say minus 5, you have to put bracket. Minus 5 square, it means minus 5 times minus 5. It will give you positive 25. It will give you positive 25. So here, after you finish that, you add all of them together. You say 9 plus 16, you get 25. 25 plus 25, you get 50. That's how the answer is 50. So you pause the video and solve all of these other exercises for substitution and help yourself. If you don't help yourself, no one can help you. Okay, you have to pause and solve. First, watch what we have done, understand how we did what we did, and then you pause it and solve all of this and move on to the next one. The next one is rearranging the formula. Okay, this one we're going to repeat in the next one, which is chapter 12. If we rearrange the formula, we're going to repeat in the next one. Okay. Now, the rearranging formula is just to make one the subject of formula. It's just to make one the subject of a formula. Let's take a look at an example. If you're given a formula, let's say you are given this formula. A equal to 2b plus c. A is the subject, A is the boss, because on the A alone is on the left. The rest are all packed to the right side. Okay? Now, but they say make the red one, the colored one, the subject. So we're going to make C the subject. What it means, move 2b to go and meet A, C will be alone on the left, on the right. That's the meaning. So if I move this one, I will take 2b to join A. When 2b move to go and join A, it will cross the equality signs. When it crosses this equality sign, it will become minus. So what we're going to have eventually will be A minus 2b. So equal to C. We have this A, we write the A that we already have. If you move the 2b to the left, it's going to be minus. It was plus before, but it's going to be minus 2b. So minus 2b equal to C. Now C is the boss now, it's sitting alone. C is alone on his own side. So that's the meaning of subject of formula. You make it to be alone on his own side, and that's how we got this one. So that's how we got this one. Is that okay? So you've made C the subject. This is the meaning of the rearranging to make the subject of formula. Now let's take a look at the second one. And to do that, now we're only going to show you now. To do that is to move these two arrows to go and join, because they make the red one. You're going to make the red one the subject to be the boss. It will be alone on one side, and then the rest will go to the other side to go and meet the other letters. Now these two arrows, we're going to move it to this way. When we move the two arrows, because it's positive on this side, it's going to be negative on this side. So P will be equal to, move these two arrows to this side, to be, you write this one first, the one that was on the right first. You write Q. When you move these two arrows to this side, become minus 2 arrows. That's how this one that's how we made this one the subject of formula. Okay, it's just simply, if it's plus on the left, when you go to the right, it's going to become minus. If it's multiplication multiplication on the left, if you go to the right, it's going to be division. If it's minus on the left, if you go to the right, it's going to be plus. If it's division on the left, if you go to the right, it's going to be multiplication. Now let's take a look at that example. Now take a look at this one, A, B equal to C, D. This is multiplication. A and B, they being multiplied. They being multiplied, and C and D are being multiplied. Now they want us to make this one the subject. So what do? You divide both sides by D. To make C the subject, you have to divide here by B. So I have to write this one to show you. Okay? Now we have A, B, make C the subject. A, B equal to C, D. A, B is equal to C, D. AB equal to CD. Now they want us to make C the subject. To make C the boss, to remain on one side, I have to divide the right side by D, also the left side by D. Divide both sides by the same thing, so that life will be good. We divide both sides by same thing, so that life will be good, right? So we come here, we divide here by what? By D. Why are we dividing by D? Because we want C to remain only C to remain on the right side. So we also divide here by D. Why are we doing division? Because it's multiplication. Because both of them, here A is being multiplied by B, and here C is being multiplied by D. Remember I said, when it's multiplication, we divide. So here, D, we cancel D. So only C will remain on the right side. So C, you now simply write C is equal to AB over D. You can write it first. It doesn't matter. You can write it first. You can say C is now equal to AB over D. AB over D. Okay? AB over D. You can write it like that. Or you write AB over D equal to C. It doesn't matter which one you write first. You can say AB over D equal to C. Okay? It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. Now we move on quickly. We move on quickly and life is good. So I think we've showed you what you need to do is to pause the video and solve as many as possible. Now how do you, let's take a look at this example. Let's take a look at one example here. How do you solve this type of problem? Okay, make A, the red one, the subject of formula. How do we make A the subject of formula in this regard? Let's quickly take a look at that. How do we make A the subject of formula in this regard? How do we do that? So you have 6b. Remember we have 6b. 6b is equal to 2a minus 5. Is equal to 2a minus 5. And we want to make A the subject, minus 5. So the first thing we do is to move 5. Is to move 5 to go and join 6b. The first thing, so that we now know we've reduced the problem. So you move 5, you know, minus 5 when it comes to the other side, when it crosses this one, it's no longer going to be minus 5. It will become positive 5. So when you move this negative to join this way, it's going to be positive 5. So it becomes 6b plus 5 is equal to 2a. Is equal to 2a. Remember, they are not asking you to solve for 2a. They are asking you to solve for a. What we do, since this is now multiplication, to get a, the next thing to do is to divide both sides by 2 in order for a to remain. The next thing to do is to, because this is now multiplication. So what we should do is to divide both sides by 2 in order for us to find a, because they say we should make a the subject. Since they say we should make a the subject, we divide both sides by 2 in order for a to remain on the right side. So I divide here by 2. I divide here by 2. The 2, these 2 we introduce here, we cancel these 2. And then a is now equal to everything here. A is now equal to everything here. And that's your answer. So you can simply say a equal to everything that we've just written. A is equal to 6b plus 5. 6b plus 5 over 2. 6b plus 5 over 2. Is that okay? So these are simple revision that you find. Now we have further expansion. Okay, for further expansion, it's not a big deal. It's just for us to expand more. It's what we have done before. I don't think we need to repeat this. It's just to take this 2x. Now let's say, for example, let's say you write, if you're writing 2x here minus 3, let's quickly go through it. We're not going to write it. Okay, we have 2x. This 2x you write here, minus 3 you write here, 3x you write here, minus 6 you write here. Now let's use the box formula. This one times this one, we get 6x squared. 2x multiplied by 3x, we're going to get 6x squared. Why? Because 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. That's how we got this 6x squared. And then we take this one to multiply this one. We're going to take this number to multiply this number to get what is here. Now 3x times 3, we're going to get negative 3. Negative 3 times 3x, we're going to get negative 9x. We're going to get negative 9x. Now we move on to the next one. We come here, we say negative 6 multiplied by 2x, we're going to get negative 12x. We get negative 12x. And then we say negative 6. To get this place, you can say negative 6 multiplied by negative 3. Negative times negative is positive. That's why there's no minus anymore. Negative times negative is positive. So you're going to get 18 here. 3 times 6 is 18. So now you add everything. 6x squared plus minus 9x minus 12x plus 18. Okay? So we come here, we say 6x squared minus 9x minus 12x plus 18. Minus 9x minus 12x. This will give us minus 21x. This will give us minus 21x. This one does not have same power. You just write it down the way it is. 6x squared minus 21x plus 18. That's your final answer. Okay? Now what if you have 3? What do you do when you have 3? You first of all expand the 2, and then you use the 2 to expand the answer you got to expand this one. I think this one we've not done an example like this. I think let's do one like this. Okay? Without using the box, we can do the normal expansion. After we do only one of this, and we're done with this section, we move on to the next one. So when you have 3 like this, what do? If they give you don't panic. You just come, you do it step by step. You know, okay? We do it step by step. Step by step. Now we come, we write the first 2, x minus 1 in one bracket, s minus 1 in one bracket, You can use the table. If you want to use table, you have to use 3 here, 3 here, 3 horizontal, 3 vertical. Okay, so we say x minus 1 in one bracket, multiply by, the second one is x plus 2. So multiply by x plus 2. When we finish, whatever we get, we use it to multiply the last bracket. Okay, so let's do this one first. Okay, if you have 3 times like this one, if you have 3 times like this one, you do 2 first, and then the solution you get, you multiply by the third bracket. Now let's take a look at this. X times x, we get x squared. Okay, I've already showed you, so I'll just be doing the multiplication. So x times x, we get x squared. Then x times plus 2, we get plus 2x. Right? We take this first number to multiply both of this one. So x times x, we get x squared. X times 2, we get 2x. So I write this plus 2x. Then I go to the next one, which is minus 1. The next term, take this minus 1 to multiply both of this one. Minus 1 times x, I'm going to get minus x. Minus 1 times x, I'm going to get minus x. Or if you like, you write minus 1x, if that's what you want. So you say, then the next one, you say minus 1 times positive 2, you're going to get negative 2. And then the next thing, we collect like terms. We collect like terms so that we can get 3 terms. Okay, so we have, what we have here is x squared. You write down x squared. Then you say 2x plus 2x minus x. It's like 2 apple minus 1 apple, you get 1 apple. So what we have is plus x. So don't be wondering how do we get x? 2x minus 1x is 1x. If you like, write 1 here. Okay, so 2x minus x is x, and then minus 2. So this is the solution for expanding the first two. Now this solution you get, now we take another color. This solution you get, you're going to use it to multiply the third bracket. You're going to use it to multiply the third bracket. Remember the third bracket, which we've not used yet? You're going to use it to multiply. You say 2x. The third bracket is 2x minus 5. Remember that. The third bracket is 2x minus 5. So we're going to use 2x minus 5 to multiply everything that we have done. You're also going to put this one in a bracket. Okay, now what do? You take this first one, multiply everything here, and you take this minus 5, multiply everything here. Is that okay? So 2x times 2x squared, we're going to get 2x to the power of 3, right? 2x, this 2x, multiplied by x squared, we're going to get 2x to the power of 3. So we're going to get 2x. I think we take a color that is more conspicuous. Now, if we multiply that, we're going to get 2x to the power of 3, right? 2x to the power of 3. Why power 3? Because x to the power of 2 times x will give you x to the power of 3. Now we are done with that. Now we take this one to multiply this one. 2x times x we get plus 2x squared. We get plus 2x squared. We're going to get plus 2x squared. Is that okay? So we write that one down. And then we move to this one. The last, using this 2x to multiply this one. 2x multiplied by minus 2, we're going to get minus 4x. We're going to get minus 4x. So we write that minus 4x down. We write minus 4x, we write it down. Then we are done using 2x to multiply the entire bracket, the first bracket. Now we're going to take negative 5. Negative 5 times x squared, we have negative 5x squared. We have negative 5x squared. Okay, negative 5 multiplied by x squared, we get negative 5x squared. This negative 5 multiplied by this first term x squared, we get negative 5x squared. Now let's move on to the next one. We take this negative 5 to multiply plus positive x. We're going to get negative 5x. We're going to get negative 5x. If we do that, we're going to get negative 5x. We get negative 5x. Then the next thing is negative 5 multiplied by negative 2. It becomes positive. Remember, negative times positive. Negative times negative is positive. So we get positive 10. We get what? Positive 10. Then after you've done that, you're going to collect like terms. You're going to what? Collect like terms. But to save time, I'm just going to be like simplifying it to the final stage. I'm doing the final stage all at a go. So you pay attention. Because there's no highest power, only this one has power 3. It doesn't have another one that has power 3. You just write it down, 2x cubed. Now, the next thing, we have power 2. We have power 2 here, right? Plus 2x squared. We're going to do this one together. Let's change the color so I can show you how. We're going to like bring this and this together, this and this, okay? And we simplify. Minus 2x squared sorry, plus 2x squared minus 5x squared, what do we get? We get negative 3x squared. Plus 2x squared minus 5x squared, we get negative 3x squared. So we write it straight away. We write negative 3x squared. We write negative 3x squared. Right? We're done with that. We simplified the power 2. Now we go to power 1. The one with x with power 1. You know this one is power 1. This one is power 1. Now we simplify that one. Minus 4x minus 5x. We're going to get minus 9x. So we get minus 9x. We write that one down. We write minus 9x. Okay? And then we have positive 10. I don't think there's any other number that is a constant. Only this positive 10. Then you write it down. Your job is done. Write positive 10, your job is done. So this is how to expand three brackets. First you expand 2, you use the last one to expand the solution you got. So and then you are done. You're done. That's how we got it here. You can take a look at it. That's what we got. At the end of the day, take a look at it. You have 2x to the power of 3 minus 3x to the power of 2 minus 9x plus 10. Okay, so that's it. That's it for this. So you pause this video and do as many as you can question. Now further factorization. Okay, I think this is the almost okay. There's difference of 2 square. Okay, now let's say I think with this one we're going to finish part 1 here, and then we continue part 2 in our next. For chapter 11 cannot be finished once. Let's finish it here, and then we do part 2 and to complete chapter 11. Okay, so that not make this one too long. So the next one we're going with part 2 will be starting from further factorization. Thank you for joining us.